Brought to you by the Asian Business Institute and Resource Center. Funding for Specialty Eats was made possible by a grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture Agricultural Marketing Service. Its contents are solely the responsibility of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of the USDA.
Mustard greens are vibrant leafy vegetables known for their peppery taste. They're great in salads, stir-fries, and soups. They pack a punch of vitamins, antioxidants, and minerals like calcium and iron. Whether you're boosting your health or spicing up your cooking, mustard greens bring flavor and nutrition to the table with every bite. Welcome back to Specialty Eats with ABIRC. My name is B, and here with me today is Chef Meng.
Thank you, B.
I see we have a pot boiling here. What are we working with today?
Today, B, we are working with boiled pork with mustard greens.
Oh, sounds good. Let's get started.
Let's get started. As B said, it's already a pre-boil. So once it's boiled, what you want to do is put the pork. Now pork, I'm using pork belly, but you can use pork shoulder, pork butt, just with a little fat. But that's how it brings out the good flavor. Anything lean is not a great flavor, right?
Right, not as tasteful.
Yeah, that's tasteful, right? So anything that has a little fat, but right today we're using pork belly, and these pork belly has been seasoned with salt and light black pepper. So what you want to do is you want to put the pork in there, and then allow this to cook thoroughly. Stir it, and all you do is cover it up and let it boil. And let it cook thoroughly. And then forgot one more thing. As fish sauce, this is about probably maybe an eighth a cup of or 2 tablespoons fish sauce, 3 cloves of garlic, and that's it.
Cool. Now we just wait for it to boil.
Wait till boil to cook it thoroughly.
Okay, now that you mentioned boiled pork with green mustard or mustard greens, I know that being young, going to all these Jingle Bells and cultural Hmong stuff I go to, I see a lot of this dish. So is it a cultural plate? Is it a staple in the Hmong community?
This right here is not a cultural plate. It's a staple of Hmong. Is what the older generation grew up with, passed down generation to generation.
Right.
It's a Hmong staple. So, like I said, it's a staple. Like any other food, you get tired of it when you eat it multiple days, right?
Right.
But you always have that warm feeling. Say, hey, let's go back to it because it's a staple.
Right.
One day you're like, oh, I feel like eating mustard green with pork.
Exactly.
And you go way back, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So it is a staple of Hmong.
Right,
Yep.
Exactly. Yes, I think this reminded me when I wanted to go back and get a taste of the pork belly or pork in general with green mustard. I swapped out the pork with chicharrones. And
Yes.
that was very good dish itself too.
Oh yes, you could do that too. That's another one. That's another dish you could do with mustard green is chicharrones.
Right.
You can, but that is staple too.
Yes.
To the Hmong. And also that is not a staple too. It also reflects where our heritage came from.
Right.
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 From the hills of Laos, the hills of China,
to
right?
here.
To here, right?
Right.
That's why it reflects where we came from. That's why it's a staple. It's something that we could go back to it. You know what I mean?
So I know we're boiling mustard greens today, but what other dishes do you recommend?
Like I said, you could do stir fry. You could eat it raw like that, actually, or you could blanch it. You want a healthy version? Blanch it, and you could eat it like that.
Oh, just like a salad.
You like salad? You just blanch it, and eat it. But like I say, it's a acquired taste because it's kind of a little bitter. Like a little bitter. Like it has a strong pungent taste to it.
Right.
So like I say, like might throw off people sometimes, but it's acquired taste, right? It's but if you're not a fan of bitterness, then yeah, you might not like it, right? But it does have a little bitterness to it. But you can eat it raw as a salad. You can stir fry it. You could do it like mustard green boil right, like how we doing today.
Right.
You can do that style too.
Right.
Yep.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Does it look like it's about to be ready?
Let's double check. But it's boiling though. Not quite, because these are not quite. Almost there though. Almost there. Yeah, almost there, but not quite.
Cool. With that being said, I know that the mustard greens, they come in all different shapes and sizes.
Yes.
I've seen some that come shaped like a heart. I've seen some very big and long ones.
Yes.
I've seen some small little ones.
Yes.
Is there like a different taste, different style
No,
of cooking?
no. There's no different taste to it. All mustard greens don't have that taste, but there is a different style because if it comes around, it depends on how you cut it.
Right.
You cut it. If you cut it small, less time cooking.
Right.
You cut
right.
it thick, you need to cook it a little longer.
True.
But
Yes.
when it comes long leaf like that, because they prefer long like that because it's a presentation how it looks like.
Yes.
Because when it's long like that, it doesn't take a long cooking, but it's like it gives it a shape.
Right.
A shape like a leafy
Yes.
type of
Yes.
veggie, right?
Yeah, more for presentation.
Yes, yes. That's the reason why that's the reason why the Hmong people us go with the long one instead of like a round one or an oval. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you can use those too. But it
Yes.
depends. You just gotta watch how you cut it
Right.
and how you cook it.
Right. And I've also heard from my friends, Korean friends,
Yes.
they also do kimchi.
Oh yes, you can do that, but usually the thing with these is they're not as tough.
Right.
You rather use napa cabbage.
Napa cabbage. Okay.
The tougher fiber type of leaf. These you could still do it, but you can't ferment it long enough.
Right.
Right, because you ferment it long enough, it's gonna break down the fibers. It's gonna be like soggy, like
Okay.
a soggy
Okay, makes
leaf.
sense, makes
right?
sense, makes
That's
sense.
why they use that because it does. The reason they use the mustard green is because they want to eat it fat, and they want to ferment it fast, like in 2-3 days, and they want to eat it.
Right.
Go that route.
Okay.
But you want to slowly ferment it. Yeah, it's an upper cabbage. It tastes a lot better than when you slowly
Right,
ferment it.
right, okay. And
That's
I know
what it's like.
another dish that's popular in the Hmong community or in the Southeast Asian community overall
Yeah.
is the sour fermented. Zhokao is the sour
Oh
fermented.
yes,
Yes.
That's perfect for use for that.
Right, right.
That's perfect use for that because it's fermented sour. Like I say, it's perfect that because it's natural grown, right? Because back in the days they grown mustard green in the backyard, so that's the only thing they have because Napa cabbage wasn't there.
Yes,
so they
yes.
use that. Now, if there was Napa cabbage in the back in the days, probably they use Napa cabbage also too, right? To
Right,
do it,
right,
right?
right.
But yeah, mainly you'll see them use mustard greens, any leafy type greens, right? Yeah,
Sounds
But you
good.
can do that too, like that style. But that's only acquired taste too, right?
Yes, yes.
Fermented. When you hear the word fermented, a lot of people it kind of throw people off. When it's
Right.
fermented. They think
Right.
it might be smelly, it might be whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
So
Yeah, no,
it's
definitely.
acquired
yeah.
taste.
Hopefully we get to cook that dish one
Yeah.
time on a special chance.
Acquired taste, but it takes that part that dish right there. It takes time too.
Yes,
It's
yes, it does.
It takes time process because it's almost a whole day process with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. How
Right.
are we looking?
Let's see how are we looking. Let's see. Ooh, almost there, B. Now let's do a tasting. Okay, I'm gonna taste the broth. So you always want to taste the broth to make sure it's seasoning enough, it's good enough before you throw in the veggies. A little bit more, probably a pinch of salt or two. Tastes like garlic though.
Oh, that's good.
That should be good. All right. I'm gonna try out one piece, just to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. Not quite. Probably 2 more minutes. Probably 2 more
Sounds
minutes.
good. Sounds
Not
good.
quite. But yeah, like I said, it's a staple. It's good. It's something that we as Hmong people go back to. You know, it's something we could go back to. Even though you could cook all these dishes. Yeah, they're great. They're good.
Yeah.
But for some reason, you always have a heartwarming and say, "Hey, that's I
Yeah.
wish I could go back to."
Yeah, this is our soul food.
Yes,
it
soul
takes us
food.
back.
It's
one takes
also
us back.
Yep, take us back. All right, let's do it. Now, could you help me throw
Sure, of course.
the mustard green
You
for
want
me,
the
B?
whole thing or half and half?
Oh, let's see. Just go half and half. Let's
Half
go
and
see
half?
how it
All
is.
right, let's
see what it does. Oh, I say throw the whole thing. Yeah,
Gotcha,
throw the whole thing.
gotcha.
Veggies, man. The more veggies, the
Right.
better.
Chef B coming to you from ABIRC.
Now let's go to this. Oh yeah, this I think gets better than this, B.
No, sir, you are correct.
Look at that. Mustard green. Now, I've probably like give it about 2 or 3 minutes to soften a little bit, and then it's already ready.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And then let's close it. Because depending on your liking, right? Like I always said, you want it softer, the more cooking you have to like cook more. But the thing with cooking more is the leaf turns. It's not green no more. It's going to turn opaque.
Right.
So it's going to turn opaque. It doesn't
Right.
look pleasing.
Right.
In my eyes, though.
Right. It's like a shade lighter.
Yes. So in my eyes, it's not pleasing. But in other people that like this more tender, maybe it's pleasing in their eyes. Right.
Right.
So,
Right. Yes. Agreed.
because me personally, I like it vibrant green, like catches your eyes. Like, oh, okay, that's good. You know?
Yeah. I think one of my best memory having with mustard greens and boiled pork is sitting on the table with my family and just eating. And we have lab, of course, this dish. We have chicken with boiled chicken with black pepper and salt.
Yes.
And this soup always, it feels like it heals the soul. It's a warm feeling that's given to you. It's like noodle soup.
Yes.
But better.
Yeah. Yep. Better because of the pork. The flavor of the pork brings out the broth.
Right.
The flavor of the broth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, B. It's there. Sorry.
Looks good.
Looks good. Looks good. I think it's done, B.
Okay.
Let's turn it off.
All right. Chef B doing his duties.
Let's turn it off and let's plate it.
All right. Sounds good.
Sounds good. Let's play with this one.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Now let's go. Let me grab a ladle and let's ladle this into a bowl. Oh, look at that. Mm-hmm. That's something that we could, like I said, this one is it takes longer because you have to boil it. Mm-hmm. But once it's done, the flavor of this, man, that's what always bring you back to the homeland.
Yes, sir.
Look at that. Perfect. You can use any type of pork, any pork with fat, but today we're using pork belly.
Well, it looks like the plate's ready, so let's give it a try.
Let's give it a try, B.
The little kid in me just wants to grab a big chunk of pork.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with that first.
Yeah, start with the pork first.
And a little bit of the broth.
Yeah, a little bit of broth. Takes the broth, see how it goes.
The pork is cooked beautifully. It's nice and tender. The fat, of course, is very juicy. Mm-hmm. Now let's do the star of the show, the mustard greens.
Mustard green. The greens also gives it a flavor for the broth too. Gives a little slight bitterness to the broth. This is my style. You can taste a little garlic in there.
Yes.
You like garlic?
Yes. But the mustard green is very crunchy because you didn't cook it as long.
Yes.
So it's very crunchy. It leaves that texture in there.
Yes.
It's also very sweet. I could taste the bitterness and a little bit of it in it too. And I think, again, I understand why this became a staple for the Hmong community to be cooking this dish almost every year during New Year's because it warms the soul. It literally warms the soul. All right. Thank you, Chef Meng, for cooking this beautiful dish for me, reminding me of my childhood days again.
My pleasure. It reminds me too.
Thank you. All right. So everyone back at home, happy eating.